everybody, and welcome to coverage of the MotoGP World Championship, the third round of the season, coming to you from the Portimao circuit in Portugal. Round 3 of the season. This is how the calendar currently looks as well. After 2 races in Doha being won by 2 different drivers, Vinales and Quartararo, it's game on for round 3 of the season. Further on down after this, on the 2nd of May, we head over for the Spanish Grand Prix at Jerez, the French Grand Prix, and then we are over to Italy for the Mugello race on the 30th of May, the same day as the 500. Then on the 6th of June, we have the Catalonia Grand Prix in Spain before the German Grand Prix on the 20th of June. Assen on the 27th. Then on the 11th of July, we have the Grand Prix of Finland before the traditional summer break, going into the Austrian Grand Prix on the 15th of August. The British Grand Prix, date for your diary, is on the 29th of August, followed then by the Aragon Grand Prix on September the 12th. A week later, San Marino on the 19th at the Mazzano World Circuit di Marco Simoncelli. October 3rd and October 10th, the Japanese Grand Prix, followed then by the return of the Thailand Grand Prix. Then we go to the Australian Grand Prix on the 24th of October. The 31st of October, the Malaysia Grand Prix. 14th of November, the season currently ends at Valencia, before then 2 races still undecided: the Argentine Grand Prix and the Grand Prix of the Americas. All still to be decided, unfortunately. In terms of the championship at the moment, it's being, as I said, led the way, very much so, by Johann Zarco, actually, as well. In the championship standings, 40 points to Fabio Quartararo on 36. Maverick Vinales the same in 3rd place, so both of the factory Yamahas level on points. Then we get Francesco Bagnaia 26, Alex Rins 23, Johan Mir 22. That was the champion from last year. Followed there by Jorge Martin, Aleix Espargaro, Jack Miller, Paul Espargaro, Enea Bastianini, Brad Binder, Stefan Bradl, Valentino Rossi on 4, the same as his teammate Franco Morbidelli, and the KTM of Miguel Oliveira, Luca Marini, Aiki Lucanoa, Takiki Nakagami, Lorenzo Salvadori, Daniel Petrucci, Alex Marquez, and returning to the championship now, Marc Marquez, back this weekend as well. So let's get straight into the action and take a look at what happened in the practice sessions for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So MotoGP is back on our screens after 2 weeks away, and back after 266 days. It is Marc Marquez making his return after several issues with his shoulder after the horrific crash at the opener of the 2020 season at Jerez. He is back, but it was Vinales who was fastest from Marc Marquez, who went 3rd. He was topping the session as well before it was Vinales, followed then as well by Alex Rins, who thought, yeah, let's better hurry up and not give the old boy a chance to get back used to it out there. But still, all eyes on Marc Marquez as he returned to the Repsol Honda garage as well. He was the early pace setter after just 6 laps. He was only 0.061 behind the early pace setter of Francesco Bagnaia in the Ducati team as well. And he was looking very good on the RC213 V bike as well. Track conditions were a little bit of a haze, however, in free practice 1. Overnight rain meant that the track was damp. It was damp for the Moto3 runners who went out. It was damp for the MotoGP runners as they came back out as well. So not great running there as well. But on the final flying lap, Marquez went P1 and looked like it would be a big fairy tale almost comeback, but sadly it was beaten as well by Vinales and Rins, who went up, and that was Marc Marquez down to P3. The top 10 from the session saw Maverick Vinales on a 1:42.127. Alex Rins was 2nd, Marc Marquez 3rd. Then it was Paul Espargaro, Johann Zarco, Francesco Bagnaia, Fabio Quartararo, Jack Miller, Alex Marquez, and Daniel Petrucci in 10th. But the Marquez brothers inside the top 10. Vinales tops FP1. On to free practice 2 then, and in the combined times, it was Francesco Bagnaia who fought back on that Ducati to go fastest overall. Marc Marquez in the end dropping down to 6th place as well. The arm ache starting to get a little bit too much, unfortunately, for the Spaniard making his return after 266 days. But still, great run for the Ducatis out there. They were 3/10 clear of Fabio Quartararo at the end of the first day of running. That is an outstanding amount of time. They've managed to get back up there as well. But still, it was good. Bagnaia followed then, as I said, by the Italian team. Jack Miller up there as well. It was fairly good as running. Rain put a halt, though, to proceedings at the end of Moto3's FP2. That brought out the red flags. But in the MotoGP, the rain had cleared and the track was drying, but it wasn't as fast as overall. They were able to go out in the slick tyres eventually as well. Got some important dry weather running, as it is predicted to rain for the race today as well. It was a bruising start to the afternoon for Takaki Nakagami, though. On his first flying lap, it was a huge crash downhill into turn 1. The bike just coming away from him as well. Under braking, a big tank slapper to the rear, thrown over high side as well. Luckily, Nakagami is okay. The bike, however, a complete write-off going into Saturday. He went to the medical centre, declared fit, and he was back out on track as well later on in FP2 on his spare bike as well. Quartararo, early pace setter. Most riders went immediately quicker than they did in FP1 because the track was eventually slightly drier than what we saw this morning in the mixed conditions as well. He was fastest going forward as well. Teams were continuing to change setups though, so time soon came down as well, going down on. Then we get Mia and Bagnaia, P1 with 15 minutes to go, changing positions all the time. Oliveira went to the top of the timesheets, 4 thousandths faster than Bagnaia, but dropped down. Marc Marquez was ahead of Alex Marquez, his brother, but it all sort of went down. Quartararo, the first driver to set down below a 1 minute 40s with 16 minutes to go, but he wasn't there. The first 1 minute 39 was in by Bagnaia as well, but in the end, it was all down after a very dramatic free practice 2. It was Bagnaia 139.866 from Franco Morbidelli, Johan Mir, Alex Rins, Jack Miller, Marc Marquez, Maverick Vinales, Johan Zarco, Miguel Oliveira, and Takaki Nakagami was the running order. If you wanted drama, you should have watched Free Practice 3. Red flag. Very rare that a red flag comes down in MotoGP. That's 2 in a row we've had weekend after weekend. But Quartararo ahead, a Yamaha 1-2 with Vinales second, but a red flag came out as well later on in the afternoon as well. A very shaky accident as well. The session had been stopped after a huge crash for Jorge Martin at turn 7. The Doha pole sitter was helped out by the marshals as well. He was thankfully okay. Which was a scary one as well. It was a big accident as well with 6 minutes to go down at the bottom, but he's okay and should be able to get back up running later on as well. Going on back in the session, Quartararo was fastest overall in Free Practice 3. He wanted to lead MotoGP going into the qualifying session and certainly did so as well. He was a 1:39.044 faster as well on the Saturday morning than Franco Morbidelli going up there. Then it was Bagnaia, who was a 10th quicker than the rest of the Italians on the field as well. Jorge Martin suffered a frightening crash turn 7, as I said. He's heading to hospital for further medical checks as well, but he was conscious, but his big head, it was a big head hitting the floor as well. Despite a lot of riders on the medium compound tyre, medium front, medium rear, it was a vital Free Practice 3 for getting ready for what could be a mixed conditions of the race as well, with that rain possibly coming down. If it's flag to flag, they want that medium running, as that'll be the best tyre compound on a drying track, we understand as well. Aleix Espargaro was quite quick further on as well, but when the pit lane reopened with 4 minutes to go of FP3, it was a dogfight to see who would get out as well. Alex Rins shot to P3, then Bagnaia and Luca Marini improved. Marc Marquez went wide at turn 1, ruined his first lap of 2 he was doing, and then Alex Marquez, hindsight, just in front of his brother down at turn 3. He went off the track as well. Vinales was in danger, but went P13 up to P9. Bagnaia climbed to 3rd, but big names missing out of the top 10 as well. Zarco was P4, leading trio. Rins up there as well, P5. Miller didn't improve in the final dash. He was P10 into the top 10 now. He was P6 overall, just ahead of Luca Marini. 7th for Yeah, 7th place for Marini. Fantastic effort there for Portimao as well. Alicia Spargo, Oliveira and Vinales squeezing in the automatic top 10 positions in qualifying 2. Big names missing out. Most importantly, have you noticed who's not on the list? Marc Marquez. On to free practice 4 then, and this is where it got interesting as well. Fabio Quartararo went fastest once again on a 139.788 as well. El Diablo 2/10 faster than Miguel Oliveira out there on the track as well. Championship leader Johan Zarco 3rd fastest. 2 French inside the top 3 in FP3. Marc Marquez continuing out there to push it as hard as he possibly could as well. He was loose with the front end as well. He was dropping down into turn 14, but no such look as well. But however, his teammate, Pol Espargaro, suffered an almighty high side coming out of turn 15. It's a massive drop downhill. Honestly, downhill. Honestly, watch, ready? It's about as big as a drop as it is. Massively scary accident as well. He was taken to hospital. He suffered concussion. So here's the starting grid then, how it looks as well with the Q1 to Q2 battle forecast. We'll start going through with qualifying 1. Marc Marquez and Johan Mir securing passes as well through. The 2 champions also engaged in some mind games throughout the session, which I found absolutely hilarious. Marc Marquez ensured he would participate in the battle for pole. He went fastest as well. But then we saw a fantastic one from Johan Mir. The 2 champions playing some cat and mouse as well, as Marquez was just following Mir around the track after lap after lap after lap, waiting for an opportunity to pounce on the circuit, and boy did he get it in the end. Marquez going through. However, it was disappointment for Pol Espargaro. He failed to escape Q1 once again, and Valentino Rossi starts 17th on the grid again for Sunday's race. That is absolutely disastrous. But looking up through with the top 10, lap record setter for Fabio Quartararo. And this was an interesting Q2 as well, because Francesco Bagnaia originally did go fastest overall, but then he had his lap time deleted for exceeding track limits, and also for setting it under a yellow flag. So that gave the lap record to Fabio Quartararo, who starts on pole position as well. It was a fantastic run all throughout the field, and it has now seen with Quartararo emerged as well as fastest overall for the grid. So this is how the top 12 start, and this is how it should be, actually, if I can find it correctly. This is how we should see the starting grid for the, if it's on our best partial times. Oh dear, isn't this, oh now it's gone back. Isn't that always the way technology works when you're on a live broadcast, folks? It's difficult to get everything working at once to talk you through the entire grid that's on my screen. Fabio Quartararo, Alex Rins and Johan Zarco, though, are on the first row of the grid. Here we go, I've got it up in front of me now. Well, hey, thanks tech guys. Fabio Quartararo on row 1 alongside Alex Rins and Johan Zarco. The second row, Jack Miller looking incredibly good as well from Franco Morbidelli and Marc Marquez starting a fantastic 6th. Marquez almost had pole position. What a fairy tale comeback that would have been, but Marquez starts 6th, but surely the arm's going to hurt him during the race. 25 laps, 114.8 kilometres on that shoulder. Can it do the distance? Alicia Spargo is P7, Luca Marini 8th, and Johan Mir 9th. The 4th row sees Miguel Oliveira, Francesco Bagnaia, and Maverick Vinales. Row 5, Alex Marquez, Pol Espargaro, and Brad Binder. Row 6 sees Enea Bastianini, Valentino Rossi, and Daniel Petrucci. The 7th row and the last row sees Aiki Lucanoa, Lorenzo Salvadori, and Takiki Nakagami, all throughout that as well, as we wait to see if Luca Marini will start the race after being taken as well to hospital for medical checks. Right, it's time to head up to the commentary box now for coverage of the Portuguese Grand Prix of 2021. And welcome up to the commentary box for the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. And let me tell you something, as Megan Burch walks into the commentary box, I hope you never have to do what I have just done over the past 4 hours, which is create 2 pre-shows, and currently I'm trying to run 2 live streams to get ready. 5 minutes to go until the race starts. Megan has very kindly lent me her laptop up here in the commentary box. So this laptop is streaming the MotoGP race coverage, and the normal computer's getting ready to do the Formula One. And I must say, Megan, your laptop's doing amazingly well.
I know, and guess what type of laptop it is?
It's a Lenovo. Yeah. And let me tell you something as well, the Lenovo, which runs both of the computers in the commentary box, seem to be perfect streaming devices. Not a frame dropped at all. Megan, I'm very, very impressed with your computer. I am very impressed. And look, it's even kept the graphics the same. It's kept everything exactly how we need it to be. And I'm very, very impressed as well. But it has taken about 3 days to set everything up. But good morning,
That's
Megan.
because I've had work to do as well.
You've had work to do. Good morning, Megan. How are you? Welcome to your third MotoGP race in a row. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
I mean, originally it was going to be a rotation between you and Dad in the commentary box for MotoGP on races where we couldn't broadcast live. By miracle, this race you're watching now wasn't supposed to be live. This race was supposed to be delayed until later. But Megan gave me a laptop and we can do it. So, welcome to your third race in a row. So, coming out of then, we've got Fabio Quartararo, who won the last race in Doha on pole position. But the biggest talking point, the return of the king, Marc Marquez, after his accident 266 days ago. He starts 6th on the grid. Do you think he's got a chance of a podium? What a fairy tale it would be to even finish the race.
I hope he has a chance of a podium. Like, I wouldn't expect him to get that much, though. Like,
yeah, I'm expecting limited amounts of running in this one as well. So we're almost set to go for MotoGP. And if you're watching along with us, we're about to go onto the grid. It's the third round of the MotoGP World Championship in 2021, and this is your starting grid. Fabio Quartararo on pole position after yesterday, Bagnaia losing out on pole position with the lap time deletion. Alex Rins alongside him. Johan Zarco starts third. The second row sees Jack Miller, Franco Morbidelli, and the return of the king, Marc Marquez. Row 3, Aleix Espargaro, Luca Marini racing despite being injured alongside Johan Mir. The fourth row, Miguel Oliveira, Francesco Bagnaia and Maverick Vinales. The champ contender, the winner of the first race, starts P12. The fifth row, Alex Marquez alongside Polo Espargaro, Brad Binder and Danilo Petrucci. And the seventh row, Aiki Lucanoa, Lorenzo Salvadori and Takiki Nakagami. Very much riding injured after a horrific accident in FP3. And Jorge Martin not racing, being taken back to Barcelona for surgery after severe accidents in practice warm-ups.
I just realised we have 2 sets of brothers on the track now.
Yes, Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez, the two brothers on the grid as well. The riders set off onto their parade laps. And a reminder as well, we are covering both Formula One and MotoGP live. This right here is live coverage of the Portuguese Grand Prix for MotoGP. Starting at 1:30, there will be build-up to the Formula One Gran Premio di Made in Italy di Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Ian Burch replacing Megan in the commentary box for that. The first 25 minutes is a pre-recorded program. We will go live with that on the same stream precisely on the hour. It'll be so seamless you won't even notice it with 2 different live streams as well. Megan Burch alongside me though for the race coverage of MotoGP with a laptop that I thought wouldn't do it, but is doing it perfectly. Even with the graphics, it's holding up incredibly well. And it's not even warm. I'm so impressed.
Oh, something I've noticed about my laptop, it never gets warm.
What is also a point as well is that I spent quite a lot of money on the computer when I could have got the laptop. I mean, have we got a mic? We've got a mic. Here, look. Here's our presenting mic that I put down. I'm just going to put this on. No fan music at all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's used to being on, like, fabric-y surfaces as well.
Yeah.
Because I have most of the time it's just sitting on my bed.
Yes. In terms of the championship points, then, you have to watch out. Johan Zarco leads the way on 40 points. Fabio Quartararo and Maverick Vinales, after coming in the same positions in both the Doha races reversed, they are now level on 36 points. So Zarco leads the championship, but he's had quite a few falls in terms of the practice over the weekend. So there is a lot more for him to do coming into this weekend as well. We're all set then, as well as I get my papers organised up here in the commentary box with handhelds. Megan, it's a long straightaway, 0.6 miles along towards turn 1 at Primella. Quartararo's heart rate at 129 beats per minute.
We can tell their heart rate.
Yes, but 25 laps ahead of us.
Oh, it's getting faster.
It's getting faster as the tension comes for lights out. 114.8 kilometres, 25 laps ahead of us. The MotoGP third round of the season at the Portuguese Grand Prix is about to get underway. The red lights are on. Now we're under starters' orders. And away we go! Good start for Vinales. Good start for Quartararo down towards turn one. Marc Marquez is actually moving up to fourth place. And Quartararo's dropped back. He's made a downfall down the carousel section in towards turn one. Marc Marquez going for third. Marquez trying to go round the outside of Jack Miller. Cuts back to the inside. Zarco leads the way. Alex Rins second. Miller's been forced to the outside line. Marc Marquez trying to go uphill now towards turn four. Down to the hairpin at turn five. And Tory Vip. They're still side-by-side action. Marc Marquez is into third place. He started sixth. There's no stopping this guy. He's trying to get back through. Jack Miller gets forced out wide. Mia now alongside. Miller's dropped back again. It's Zarco, Rins, Marquez, Mia, Miller, Quartararo, first to sixth. He just bogged down, Megan. He fell right back down the order.
I still don't understand how Marquez did that.
I don't understand how Marquez did that. That was unbelievable. Nakagami up to 13th place as well. He started 21st. Nakagami makes a great start and he's riding injured as well. What a start. And here comes Johan Mir sending up the inside of Marc Marquez. He almost takes Marquez out. Mia's been riding a bit dangerously so far this weekend. He sent it right up the inside and almost said bye-bye.
He passes Marquez.
Yeah, he got through on Marquez. He sent it on the inside. The two champions, 2019 and 2020, racing together. Marquez down to fourth place at the moment then. This is so close racing. You don't even know where to put it at the moment, do you? This is amazing stuff. Lap one, complete. We are now on to lap two. Down the Galp corner, turn 15, a long sweeper. And it's working quite well. I must say, if you're a fan of MotoGP, you're going to get your actions worth now. 0.6 of a second down towards turn number one. Few little positions going on there. That's Daniel Petrucci on the Lenovo bike, who's dropped further back. So bad stuff there as well. Petrucci dropped down. Lucanoa dropping down. Everyone dropping down at the moment. Marquez has now been passed by Quartararo and Miller's down the order as well. Neither of them having a little go at the moment as they continue to sweep down towards Tory Vip at turn 5. Suzuki 2-3 at the moment. Marquez now drops behind Miller. Marquez down to 6th. And this is what we want about. Marquez does have great pace, but as soon as his arm starts to get tired, it starts to pull back out.
Which shoulder is it?
That's what. Sorry, I'm going to cut across myself. Marquez went to the front to try and get past Johan Mir, and he clipped the back of him. Front wheel to rear wheel. 9 times out of 10, you're on the deck with that one. It's this arm. It's the right arm as well. It's got a lot of pumping to do with it. Yeah.
Is he right-handed?
Yes, he is as well. Yeah, that's the problem. He's really had to put a lot on it. He's had infections in it over the last 266 days. He's had everything wrong with it, but he's back now as Alex Rins looks to go to the inside of Zarco to take the lead of the race. Zarco hasn't won a race this year, has had pole positions before as well. He is continually pushing as he needs to. Miguel Oliveira down to P12 as well. He's battling with Francesco Bagnaia. They're all still running up now into turn 15, the Galp corner. It's such a roller coaster. You go drop downhill about 20 stories to the bottom and then you rise back uphill down the start finish straight. That Ducati usually has so much grunt with the Pramac and Zarco, but right now the two Suzukis of Rins and Mir are continuing to push together as that is a move up the inside from, it looks like, Aleix Espargaro getting through. Oh, that was Binder, sorry, it's Binder passing Morbidelli as Rins now holding off Johan Mir. They're all starting to group back together, Megan.
I'm just watching this and I can't comprehend what's going on now.
It's so confusing already.
I'm trying to keep...
Quartararo.
Wherever it is.
Quartararo trying to go around the outside of Miller, and he's got him at the inside at Tory Vip, turn 5 hairpin.
But everyone's just changing position so fast.
It's a roller coaster, Portimao. It's one of every rider said when they raced here last year at the season end.
What does red mean?
Red means good. Red helmets means good. So everyone in the first sector, the top 8, setting red sector times. So that's good. By the way, in MotoGP, red sector times means they're fastest. Yellow means they're on a purple personal best. Grey means they're down on their own best times from what they've set so far. We're watching Rins now in the Suzuki, battling with Zarco on the Pramac Ducati. And when was that? Oh, and Rins goes up the inside, down at turn 13. They're side by side. That's a position you don't usually overtake. We saw a couple of them trying it in the Moto3 race about half an hour ago, because Moto3, MotoGP and Moto2, the running order here this weekend. Moto2 getting the last run because they've moved the Premier Class race so it doesn't interfere with the Formula 1 race that gets underway in around about 55 minutes time. So far, we're watching now the battle of the top 4. Zarco, Rins, Mia, Quartararo, who's just at the fastest lap. And now they all spread out down towards turn 1 and come back together. And they come back together with Quartararo passing Mia for 3rd place.
Have you noticed it's always been the same top 5 for last
It has.
races?
Yeah, it's been the same top 5 again as that's Alicia Spargo passing and Brad Binder getting through. Marc Marquez has dropped down to P9 as well. Everybody's been saying it'll be a miracle if he even gets to finish this race. Marc Marquez.
Marquez is down his personal best. He's in 9th place.
Yeah, 21.286, and it's gone grey as well as they come round turn 5 at Tory Vip as well. Go uphill now towards turn 6 and 7. The 8th corner here is called Samsung, not after the television company or the sound producers. Samsung, one of the creators of the Portimao track. It's a big uphill segment as well, and then a big drop downhill. It's like going over the top of a crest. It's complete roller coaster.
I half expect them to just do a jump.
Yeah, they have been flying. A couple of them have actually gone both wheels off and have flown over the crest so far this weekend.
I need to see that.
Well, honestly, there's some great replays. Formula 1 come here as well at Portimao in 2 weeks' time as Rins this time sends it up the inside at turn 13. He tried Rins to go through. Can he get through? He's had to hold it right round the outside and he's done it. Great move. Inside at 13, outside of 14 down at Sagas and gets through. Rins takes the lead away from Zarco. Now we're going to see the grunt of that Ducati as they swoop downhill through turn 15 at the Galp corner and down 0.6 kilometres straight away, down now towards turn 1. And you are right with what you said. It has been the same top 5 every race so far this year. The only difference is so far is that Maverick Vinales isn't in this battle. And I can't see where Vinales is right now on the screen. Going wide there,
20th.
Jack Miller, 20th. And he started 12th. He's gone way down the order as Mia and... So that's Miller and Petrucci having a little bit of a battle together as well. Almost flying off the track was Jack Miller. Zarco's retaken the lead away from Rins as well.
Who was the one who had the argument last time?
Jack Miller, who gave a big kick to the side of the leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
And ramming into the side of Johan Mir. And Mir was having a go at Marc Marquez a couple of laps ago as well.
I'm glad that Alicia Spargo is in between them right now.
And his brother, Polo Spargo, has just come into the pits. Now, Polo Spargo crashed at turn 15 in free practice number 3.
I think his...
you saw that accident, didn't you? He had a big whack. It's turn 15, so downhill. He had a big whack on the back, whack on the top of the head, and I think he hasn't raced a lot. He missed quali 1 and quali 2.
I think his bike's just that.
Yeah, wasn't in warm-up either, so I think retiring there on medical grounds. The riders really have been beaten up this weekend across all 3 classes as Rins now at his favourite opportunity down at turn 13 makes another move. Zarco's trying to hold back, and now Quartararo trying to go around the outside down at turn 14 at Sargas, and he's got through! Fabio Quartararo takes 2nd place away from Johan Zarco. Zarco's come back at him. No, Quartararo to 2nd. Zarco 3rd. Mia is 4th. Alicia Spargo 5th. From Jack Miller, Franco Morbidelli, Brad Binder as well as they cross the line with 19 to go. It's 3 abreast for the race lead. Rins holding on. He breaks the latest. Quartararo getting the rear of his bike all shaken out of loose as well. And it's still so close. 20 laps to go. Lap 6 there. Megan, is Maverick Vinales running effectively in last place down one of the Ducatis at turn 4.
Oh, that was a big one.
And it's Jack Miller. Jack Miller. And he is certain. The bike's still spinning in the gravel.
Mia wasn't involved in that, was he?
No, he was too far down. So it's Jack. No, he's too far up the order. So yeah.
He wasn't kicking.
So Jack Miller out of the Portuguese Grand Prix on the 6th lap. He's crashed at turn 3 at the Lagos corner. That's the tight hairpin after the sweep at 1 and 2. Let's see how he did it. Now he's back there in the middle in the second of the 3. That he went for the brake to turn into turn 3, and the rear just stepped away from him so quickly.
It's like locking up in a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, lock the rears and off you go just as soon as that.
If you lock up here, then you're gone.
Yeah, just quick click of the fingers and you're down on the deck. Nothing you can do about that one so far. So, lap 6 of 25. 20 laps to go. And Rins is now leading from Quartararo. Johan Mir is up to 3rd place. He's passed Johan Zarco. So Zarco dropping back. Zarco's on medium front, medium rear. The same as Mir and Rins. But Quartararo's got that hard rear tyre in. That's going to give him an advantage later on in this race. A harder rear tyre, as we all know, Megan, lasts longer in the race.
Does last longer in the race. Though I can tell that everyone's not doing very well on this lap.
Oh, Miguel Oliveira's crashed. Miguel Oliveira's crashed. The timing monitor's saying that he's okay. And here he is. Look, he's just gone down. He's gone down on the deck somewhere. And it's at turn 14. Oh, that's at Sargus.
Once one goes down, they all go down.
So the winner, and Marc Marquez goes on the green, comes back on. Bagnaia blasts through. Marquez running onto the green. You can do that 3 times before you get a long lap penalty. And Oliveira crashes. I think he's trying to rejoin. He has rejoined the race now.
Good.
But that was the winner. Miguel Oliveira won the last round of the season last year here at Portimao. It was round 14 of 14 then. Now it's round 3 of the season. Back here already.
Didn't I pick
in fact, I think
Bidelli last week?
You
And
picked,
he was doing really
and he
bad.
crashed out.
Let's see who I'm going to pick this week.
So Megan's going to pick from the free practice 3 timing orders. And that is a replay of turn 14 of Miguel Oliveira. Downhill, just dropping the bike on the deck. You have picked Alex Marquez, the brother of Marc. Alex Marquez, currently running in 11th place.
Let's see how he does.
Yeah, not a bad shout there to go for Alex. We'll see how he does.
I'm scared now because the brothers only have 1 car in between.
Yeah, and there's Oliveira dropping gravel all the way on the deck there. So it could be better, could be worse, I suppose. And we are still streaming, which I am very glad about, Megan. So already great stuff. Well done. It's going to be a quick D-rig before we get to rig back up for the F1 race. That starts soon. Pre-recorded pre-race show of Formula 1 starts here on the YouTube channel at hour. Here comes Zarco now. He's got the attack of Johan Mir. The team cheering him on with the pit board at the exit. Pulls to the inside. Zarco's past Mir. And now Quartararo, who we're riding with now, trying to go after Alex Rins. And it is still Suzuki. It's been Suzuki's, the factory Suzuki's, the factory Yamahas, and the customer Ducatis of the Pramacs who've been in the top 5 as Quartararo tried to go round the outside, coming uphill through Lagos and turn 4. And he's not going to have a look at turn 5 now.
I knew he was going to pass him.
Yeah, and he's through. Oh, there you go, bumping and balling. Johan Mir showing what he did to Jack Miller last weekend, diving up the inside of a hairpin and banging into him to get it through. Johan Mir, a very aggressive rider, it seems, ever since he became world champion last year. He's only in his 2nd or 3rd MotoGP season. In fact, I'm going to double check that. So I think it's only his 3rd season in full, and he won the championship last year on the Suzuki as well. So it's still very close as well. Yeah, Qatar 2019, so it's in his 3rd MotoGP season for Johan Mir. And nowhere really in year 1, exploded onto the scene in year 2 with Suzuki having a great bike. And now it looks like he's going to continue to fight at the top, of course, because last year's bikes this year's bikes because of the COVID pandemic. The bikes are frozen over for 2 seasons.
Frozen?
Yeah, it means that they can't change anything because they can't bring a new bike in. They're the same bikes.
That could be dangerous.
We've seen a couple of them coming to failures. We've had quite a number of fires this weekend as well.
Well, I'm not surprised if you keep a car...
Bike
not moving for 2 years.
Quartararo dives to the inside, downhill towards turn 1, into Primera. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Fabio Quartararo takes the lead in the Portuguese Grand Prix away from Alex Rins. And once again, Megan, we are seeing that the Yamahas have got great late race pace. In fact, it's only lap 9. It's still early. Lap 9 of 25. 17 laps to go. And it's gonna take another half an hour to get this race sorted as well. It's a long race. It's a tight race as well. What's
The two brothers are next to each other.
Aleix, where? So you have to point. Oh, yeah, Marc Marquez 9th, Alex Marquez 10th. Here's a replay of the start then. So look, Quartararo comes off, but Alex Rins got the better start. Quartararo comes off to the middle to try and defend, but Rins has already passed him, and Quartararo just had to back out of it. That explains why Quartararo lost so much time down towards turn 1. Look, there it is. In fact, look.
Jeez.
There's Quartararo even losing part of his wing fenders on the front. Look at this.
And he ran over something.
Millimeters of contact between them is bodywork, rear bodywork to front bodywork.
And I saw him run over something.
Yeah, he ran over some form of debris, didn't he? Yeah. So, 17 laps to go in the Portuguese Grand Prix. Finally, a different hashtag, by the way. The previous two hashtags, even though the Doha Grand Prix was Grand Prix of Doha, it still used the Qatar Grand Prix hashtag. It confused us up in the commentary box no end. But this is the Portuguese Grand Prix for MotoGP. The third round of the season of a record 19 currently scheduled. We've got another 2 waiting in the wings as well with Argentina and Grand Prix of Americas. And once again, there's Jack Miller looking angry. Once again, he's not had a great start to the season, has he? He's second.
Far from it.
Yeah, first race he was up there but faded away. Race 2 he had banged wheels with...
Argument.
Yeah, an argument with Mia.
Which I've never seen done before.
I've never seen it done before. Now he's crashed out in race 3 as well. Here's the live championship standings at the moment then. Quartararo would lead the way on 61 points, have an 8-point advantage over Johan Zarco. Rins would be on 43 points, 18 behind Quartararo. And Johan Mir will be on 38 points, nearly a full race victory behind Quartararo already. You can sit down. If the camera can see it, yes it can. So, Quartararo, best race lap now was Oliveira's a 1:39.855 set in 2020. Quartararo just did a 1:35.999. So, it's not an emergency just yet, but it's getting there. It's certainly getting there. As there is Brad Binder in the 33, running P6 at the moment. He's closing up on Franco Morbidelli, and he's got Francesco Bagnaia just behind him. Bagnaia looked to put the bike to the inside to have a go. Quartararo not escaping Alex Rins at the moment. There's still 0.3 of a second between them on the track as they come through Circus and now through the Galp corner at turn 15. Drop downhill. Look, you can almost see the elevation change on the television monitor that we're watching from. It's a big drop downhill. That camera is ground level at the top of turn 14 and it can look down at turn 15. That's how much of an elevation change there is. KTM watching on as well.
Imagine trying to brake going around that corner.
Here's Pit Berrier, the KTM team managing boss as well, watching on, waiting in the wings, hopefully for maybe another victory if Binder can get up there. Binder won round 3 last year when we went over to the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Can he win here today? Looks unlikely, but last year in the third race he started from the pit lane and took victory. And we've seen that been done in Moto 3 with Pietro Acosta 2 weeks ago at Doha, and Acosta won the Moto 3 race earlier on this afternoon. Moto 2 follows Moto GP, but we don't cover that series, so we're literally just sort of slotting in the middle saying hello and then going off to do the Formula 1 race at Imola, which if I check at the moment, I did hear was having some light rain conditions. So this could be interesting, certainly, to see what's going to happen with Formula 1. Do join us for that right after this as well.
Ooh,
Marquez on board.
Doing quite well.
Where is Mark at the moment as well? P9. He still hasn't dropped back, hasn't been left up either.
On board with Quartararo.
We have got an hour to go before the Formula 1 race, and the rain has started coming down heavy. So it is a wet Formula 1 race for the Grand Prix of Emilia-Romagna.
Can't wait to watch that.
You're going to watch. You're in the commentary box for that one. So, yeah,
I know.
You're regretting that.
No, I'm just going to sit down and watch it while doing my work on my laptop.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. So, multitasking. Quartararo does a 1:39.884, sets a new fastest lap record around this track as well. I am so looking forward to the Formula 1 race more than I am finishing the MotoGP, because this is still going on and on and on.
Why do I have Wait, what's happening between them? They're getting way too close.
That's Bagnaia and Morbidelli with Binder just alongside.
Not Bagnaia and Morbidelli.
Bagnaia has Morbidelli. They've been through each other quite a lot over the past couple of hours, haven't they? They're chalk and cheese at the moment. So yeah, we'll give you an update on what's happening in Formula One as well in just a second. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. But right now, with 14 laps to go of the MotoGP race here, it is still so... It's just so tense. The gap between them now, Quartararo and Rins, is 2.5 tenths of a second. So it's less than a quarter of a second. So it's getting close. There's the race lap look. 8.84. It's an 8.55 was Oliveira's best race lap record. So Quartararo not there just yet, but he's continuing to chip away at it bit by bit by bit. As they keep sweeping through. This is down at turn 13. Megan, is Ritten's going to have a go? Because he looks a bit closer than before.
I think into corners, maybe.
That's turn 1 at the Primera corner. It could work out. Replay with Fabio Quartararo. Does he get air over the jump at turn 8 and 9? Air on the front. Did he leave the ground at the back? Yes, he did. Ever so slightly, and probably for a fraction of a nanosecond, but Fabio Quartararo got air and has now done a 1:39.870 at the moment.
Well, I said I wanted to see it.
Yeah, there you go. You've been in the commentary box when it's happened. So he's really up there at the moment. Ritten's closing in as well. Ritten's will be pushing hard. The rain has just started, by the way, at Emilia-Romagna. So I hope you've all got raincoats for the Formula One race following this. It'll be a wet race. Oh, wet race at Imola for the first time since 1991. Very excited about that. Right now as well. Bagnaia, 1:39.7. 1:39.728, fastest lap.
Right, so there's 13 laps to go.
We've got a live shot of Imola right now. It is absolutely pelting it down at Imola. It will be a full wet weather start. Yeah, that's Verstappen. So yeah, so at Imola as well, before we cross over for live coverage, if you're watching both, it is going to be a wet Grand Prix. The rain has absolutely pelted it down there.
I've just seen it. Imagine what it would be like to be in a small storm.
And that's not going to clear up in the next half an hour, 40 minutes. So it will be a wet race for the Formula One Grand Prix.
Which is good news for Max Verstappen.
Oh, it's good news for me as well, because I get to commentate on a wet race in round 2. And if round 1 was exciting, round 2 is going to be absolutely epic. Yeah, well, I'm ashamed that you're not going to be joining us in the commentary box for that one.
The weird thing is I've done more MotoGP than Formula 1 this year.
3 rounds to 1. So, yeah, you need to pick up on your F1. 12 to go.
I'll try.
12 to go. The field now beginning to be spread out and the usual lull coming into effect. What?
I had too much work to do to actually be able to do Formula 1 as well.
Yeah, this is 45 minutes and I've stolen your laptop. The other's 2 hours.
Yeah, which I do my work on, so I thought might as well.
I'll tell you what though, the Formula 1 race might see a red flag if it's like that. There's Quartararo's heart rate, Megan.
169 beats per minute.
That is so high. That is very high.
That's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot, and it was what, 120 on the grid?
130.
And now it's ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. 169 beats per minute.
At least it's not as fast as a rat because it's like a hummingbird. It beats so fast that it hums.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I learnt that off Matilda when I was a child.
Oh, well, there you go. Down the hill, the battle between the top 2 still in effect as Rossi's moved up to P11. The Doctor, we haven't mentioned so far this broadcast, is up into P11 after another disastrous starting position. Rossi started down in 17th place. He's made his way up to 11th on the Petronas Yamaha. Pramac Ducati getting very excited. Paolo Camentoni there, the team principal at Pramac, watching on the pit wall. All COVID secure, of course. And we've got a couple of minutes before we start coverage on the Formula 1 race as well. Reminder, the first half is pre-recorded before going live for the race itself. What was also nice was that Formula 1 and MotoGP shared a minute's silence for the fallen MotoGP riders as well in the past. As now we see Zarco blast past Johan Mir down towards turn 1. That was slipstream, wasn't it?
I thought he was going to ram into him then.
First two sectors. Everyone's going quicker. Rins 139.598. Sector 1.
All by me.
Yeah, Quartararo, Rins and Zarco all fastest. And Mia hasn't set the best lap. Neither has Marquez below. They're all not setting best lap times. So still, this is close. And I think Rins has realised, hang on, there's only 11 laps to go here. We better hurry up and change our procedure.
At least Mark has an excuse to why he's not going fast. I mean, he's got
First
had a
race
bad
back
shoulder.
after his bad shoulder, yeah, and it's still going to be affecting him.
And personally, I think he should have took another month off.
I don't think he should have come back just yet. I think he should have taken another couple of weeks off and done more training as well. You don't want to have a permanent damage for a motor racing incident. You need to have genuine grabs at it as well and just see if that works better. So, yeah, maybe I would have taken another month off, as you say. But Mark's come back. He's P9, qualified P6, was third in FP1 as well. Surprising everybody. He even topped the session at one point.
But something tells me he'll be icing his shoulder tonight.
Icing the shoulder and everything. And Valentino Rossi has dropped down to 16th place. Rossi, he was right. Rossi's down, I think, because he's just dropped down to 17th. I think Valentino has crashed down, and he has. Valentino Rossi has crashed out of the Portuguese Grand Prix. He is okay, but this is not a great debut. He was down on the deck as well in the last two races. This is just getting worse and worse.
Something I keep thinking about. Imagine having to walk on that gravel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Not good at all. Rossi, no points in Doha, only 4 in Qatar. And it's an even worse situation for them here today right now as Bagnaia at the moment having a little bit of a battle on the track as well with Franco Morbidelli.
I want to see how he did that.
What, drop on the deck?
Yeah, I just keep wondering. It's like, did he hit the curb?
I think he must have had some sort of tank slap. He was down at turn 14, so that was the Sargas area. And Francesco Bagnaia has been told as Morbidelli sends it round the outside and keeps it on Bagnaia. Bagnaia briefly moved ahead, but the gap between is gap ahead 0.2 seconds. Right behind is Binder. Final sector so Jenny Gauss just tweeted, for those of you who watch Formula 1, the final sector is dry, but sector 1 is definitely not. Norit calls it as inters. Alonso just went out on inters and he just went off the track, I think, at Tosa.
Is he okay? Is he okay?
And yeah, Alonso went off the track at Tosa. He's okay. He's okay, yeah. But Fernando Alonso off the track at Tosa. Morbidelli has been given a track limits warning and down at turn. That was Rossi.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, Rossi just dropped off the bike down at turn 11. He's not happy, is he? Rossi really not happy with that one.
I'm just glad Alonso's okay. Now Rossi's okay.
Yeah.
Two people who I've admired since I was a child.
And not doing okay at the moment, yeah. So it's all a bit on the decks in the Formula 1 race. But that race has not yet started, and it looks to be a safety car start, so they'll go around for a couple. Meantime, in the MotoGP, 9 laps remain. And we're having another run as well as Vinales has been given a track limits warning. Bagnaia now goes to the inside and gets through for 5th place on Franco Morbidelli. So that is a close one as well. And they're all now just beginning to push. 9 to go. They're all beginning to push. They're all beginning to try and find the right limit of what's acceptable and what's not. And they're getting close, aren't they? Mia's dropped way back. I thought Mia was in contention to win this race. But as you said, Quartararo and Rins.
They just seem to be dominating these past 2 races.
They really are as well. We've got the F1 up in the commentary box as well to see Alonso going off the track at Tosa. Seemed like it was just a run-off. And I'm sure Michael Schumacher fans have been enjoying that one. But right now as well on the deck, it's not looking all that good. And drivers back in the pit lane in Formula 1. But meantime, in MotoGP as well, here's Marc Marquez, the young gun, who's currently running on the track. He's young, and he's going to go there. Alonso in the wall. I think Alonso's out of the race. Hang on. I don't think Alonso will start. He's made it back to the pit lane. So Alonso is, for those of you watching for the Formula 1 race, Fernando Alonso went off at the race at Tosa.
He'll be fine. And
he is going to get back in the race. He's made it back to the pit lane for new repairs and a new wing.
He'll be fine. He's had his crash. That means he's done now, right? Please?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. But there's what's happening. The Formula 1 coverage is about to start, by the way, over on our secondary live channel for MotoGP, for Formula 1 here. So join that as well. But Alonso went off in the wall. Rins now is up at the order. Rins has just done a... 1:39.471. The new world record at this track goes to Alex Rins. That's unbelievable.
That was fast. And it looks like
that was really fast, yeah.
Bagnaya's doing well in the first sector.
Yeah, Bagnaya's gone quick as well. He's just got through on Morbidelli, so he's got that advantage. Take it about it, Megan.
Right, so who are we on board with? It looks like we're on board with, I honestly have no idea who we're on board with. I need to drive to get closer. So who's a 42? So we're on board with Cottararo.
Sorry about having to throw you in that. We've just started the stream for Formula 1.
It helped me learn. See, I got it right. It's 170.
Quartararo's heart rate now at 170 beats per minute. My goodness. That is a big one.
Is that healthy?
It's healthy. I wouldn't say it's good, but it certainly is healthy. Yeah. So the Formula 1 coverage has just started as well. If you want to watch along there, MotoGP continuing here on our secondary live channel on the YouTube. And we're all set then as well, hopefully, for a great race of both. 8 laps to go in MotoGP.
Right, so I didn't realise you could lean that far.
It was over, 60-degree lean angle as well. So that's 69 and you're on the deck as well. But yeah.
I didn't realise you could lean that far down.
And Aston Martin through the pit lane with a rear fire in Formula 1.
What?
Yeah, the smell of burnt brakes in the air. And then it's one of the Astons, Bottas as well. And Bottas has had a puncture on his way to the grid. I tell you what, it's all going off in Formula 1. The one time we decide to cover a different series live instead of go live with Formula 1, it's all kicking off over there.
Well, it's just having a temper tantrum because it wants attention.
Yeah, Aston Martin with a rear right fire, smell of burnt brakes in the air. Valtteri Bottas has come in with a puncture as well. They might delay the start to this one. And they can't start behind the safety cars right now. There. That's Bagnaia. And now is that Rins? Is that Rins? It is! Alex Rins is down from second place. Alex Rins is down on the deck and out.
What happened?
He might get restarted. It's down at turn 5. It's a Tory Vip. So he's dropped it on the entrance. And Quartararo leads with a 3-second gap. Here it is, turning downhill. Does he catch the curb? Yes, he does. And the bike fades away. And Alex Rins is on the deck and out of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Can he get it restarted? No, he can't. Alex Rins is out and Suzuki's dreams fade. Quartararo on to do the double.
I must say that was a pretty graceful, skid.
It was graceful, yeah.
It was quite graceful.
Wow. And I think that, it's all kicking off in MotoGP. It's all kicking off in Formula 1 as well. Who can tell what's going to happen in either of the series?
The time I'm covering a sport that isn't Formula 1.
And more dramatic things happen in both, I know. Unbelievable scenes here as well. So Bottas with a puncture. He went out on intermediate tyres. That means he's only down to 3 on his way to the grid in that race.
I'll tell you what, if a red flag comes out in the Formula 1 race, I'll pop in.
I'll hold you to that. Lorenzo Salvadori has been given a track limits warning. So look at that. Zarco now finishing second place. And Zarco will be 1 point behind Fabio Quartararo in the race for the championship. How long for, though? Bagnaia takes second. Bagnaia dives up the inside and takes second place down at turn 5. So, factory Ducati now P2. That gives Quartararo a 5-point gap in the championship.
Oh, I'm getting the first race flashbacks from when Bagnaia was basically leading the race, the entire race, and then
it's all kicking off. But by the way, we are on a quick off here for the MotoGP coverage to go over to Formula 1. So as soon as the last rider is across the line, that's Bagnaia!
I gassed him.
No, it's not Bagnaia, it's Zarco. It's the other Ducati, it's the Pramac. Zarco on the deck.
We saw that live as well. That wasn't a replay.
And he just dropped it, turning through the mid-corner. So, second place seems to be the cursed spot.
Bagnaia, run.
Yeah, because that's now Zarco out and Rins out. Mia to third. And Marquez to 7th as well. That's Marc Marquez 7th. Alex Marquez 9th. Here it is then. So turns in Megan, just drops the front.
Oh, that could have been dangerous if he had went the other way.
With Mia as well, yeah. If that tank slappered back on itself.
Then it could have been a pile-up. and very, very injured.
Oh, that is top of the hill, flat out. No sign that was going to happen
He
either.
went on the gravel as well. That got to have...
Big
even
one
with the
there.
padding, that had to have hurt.
It would have. So, that is now Fabio Quartararo leading by 4.581 seconds. You have to wonder, is Fabio Quartararo doing a James Bond and just dropping things on the track to make second place fall out?
Just like, la, 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 la.
And yeah, down goes some of the things. And look at that. Johan Zarco knows that he was leading the championship coming into this race.
Look.
And now Quartararo is going to have quite a big advantage. And Rins as well was running P2 and out of the race.
Bagnaia is purposely staying away from Quartararo.
4.6 seconds now the gap. And it's all been at turns 4 and 13 that the action's been happening today. Well, you just can't write this stuff at the moment, can you? What a dramatic run for the race here today.
Is that every team?
Roundabout nearly, yeah.
Apart from Honda Casserole and Honda... Oh, typical of Hondas.
Hondas are down the order, aren't they? Repsols.
They're in the middle.
Yeah. So, 1 minute 40 lap times with 4 laps to go. Megan, the quick brain calculator, will tell us how much is left in the race.
If there's 4 laps to...
It's around about 10 minutes.
Yeah, around about 10 minutes. So I just got confused because it said on there 5 laps and there
It's 4
4
laps,
laps.
yeah.
I thought 9?
Yeah, it's 9. No, it's 4 to go at the moment here in MotoGP. Quartararo leads by 4.815 seconds to Francesco Bagnaia and Johan Mir. So it's all kicked off in Formula One as well. Ian Burch, he's currently watching at race control, will be joining me for the Formula One race, and he'll give us an update on everything that has taken place on the way to the grid. Megan Burch leaves us, but if there's a red flag in Formula One, might come back in. You have to wear the other headset then, because Dad will be wearing yours.
I'll just pop in for like a couple minutes.
If that race gets stopped, yeah.
I'll just use that, actually.
No, that won't be plugged in.
Why?
Because it won't be. And there is Johan Zarco, who's got to lift back on a scooter from one of the marshals. And look at the leathers as well, Megan, completely ripped. That was an unusual off.
If I was Zarco, I'd go talk to Rins, see if they ran over anything, just in case.
So, by the way, that's so just to go to the Formula One, Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel have had a brake fire. So both Astons, both Astons have had rear brake fires today. So it looks like Aston's day is going to get worse. And there's also more rain coming at Imola. So we could be in for a very tasty Formula One race following this, and you can watch it live here on YouTube as well. In fact, that coverage is taking place right now over on YouTube as we're still live here for the MotoGP. So if you're watching both of me at the same time, don't worry. One of them is obviously pre-recorded, and it's not the live coverage of the motor race you're watching. So take a deep breath there. 3 to go here as well. The race is going to be over quite soon. We will, as I say, have a quick off here for MotoGP because we need to get over to the Formula One.
May I just say, I've noticed Bagnaia is purposely staying away from Quartararo right now.
Yeah, 4.9 seconds now, the gap between them. So there have
Actually,
been...
it's bigger now.
Yeah, it's 5.2, yeah. Quartararo nearly went down there. He had to step up quite big in the middle part of the track. So Fabio having a little bit of over-connection, I believe. And he didn't like that. Big slide at the rear. 3 to go. They're all closing, though, on their overall gaps. And Bagnaia, Mir and Morbidelli still in the battle for second place because Morbidelli's coming to fight for a podium for Petronas Yamaha.
Who won the last 2 races? I'm trying to remind myself.
Vinales won race 1 for Monster Energy Yamaha.
Oh, so he is doing good.
Quartararo won race 2 for Monster Energy Yamaha.
So this could be a second win.
Yeah, and Quartararo also. So Yamaha looks to dominate the first 3 races of the year. 1 for Vinales, 2 for Quartararo on the bounce. How about that? Yeah.
Looks like they're the team to beat this year.
I'm getting 2015 vibes when it was maybe 2016 or something. No, it was definitely 2015 vibes when it was Rossi and Lorenzo at Yamaha battling between each other. 2 new teammates, Vinales and Quartararo, both young, both pushing each other for the championship, both pushing each other to their best. and Yamaha seemed to have come alive. At the same time, what the Petronas Yamaha team, when it was alive, Rossi's joined it this year, and suddenly they've gone from being top team to bottom team. What's the link? Oh, is it Valentino Rossi, the nearly 46-year-old who is clearly too old to ride a motorcycle? Yes, he's one of the greatest of all times, but even we can tell that he's not what he was.
Even Michael Schumacher had his time.
Yeah, Schumacher knew when it was time to call it a day in the end. But yeah, Rossi is still holding on and seems to be bringing both teams down that he was with, because it's no coincidence. It's been going around the MotoGP paddock. It has been noticed, and even Rossi himself is starting to see this. Right now, though, Bagnaia and Mia's closing in.
Maybe he can do something. Maybe he can commentate on it.
Rossi commentating on
Formula 1 people do.
Yeah, Rossi commentating on MotoGP would be quite fun. I think Rossi would just continue until he's getting on the bike in a Zimmer frame. He'll just keep going as well. 86-year-old Valentino Rossi just still circulating. That's another 40-odd years or so. I could see him doing that, to be fair. I can see Rossi riding until he's 50-odd, if I'm honest. But I think he might call it a day soon. Oh, who's that off the track? That wasn't Bagnaia. I think that looks to be Miguel Oliveira, who's been lapped. He's running in 16th and last place. So it was Oliveira going off. I thought it was Quartararo for a second. He was right off with a failure, but it wasn't. So yeah, Synthol saying, my God, the rain is insane. That is over on the Formula 1 race chat as well. So that's going to be interesting when we eventually get over there. We're on to the last lap, though, of the MotoGP race.
Are we?
Coming up, yeah. Here's Fabio Quartararo. Last lap, the call. Lap 25 and 25. Johan Mir going for second place. Francesco Bagnaia desperately trying to hold him through. And there's the Ducati grunt down towards turn 1. That engine's just so powerful in a straight line. It's unbelievable. 16 riders left in this race. We've lost Zarco, Rins, Rossi, Miller and Pol Espargaro, who voluntarily pulled in after an error.
Oh, Quartararo's heartbeat's gone down a bit.
162. Yeah, only a bit though, Megs. 162 still. I wouldn't.
It's better than what it was.
Would you fancy going round at 162 miles an hour? I certainly would. Beats per minute. I certainly wouldn't.
I wouldn't. It's better than 170.
He's an absolute monster, though, Fabio Quartararo. And
well, he is for the team.
Yeah, once again, though, it looks like he is going to pull something out of the bag that nobody thought he could. This is absolutely unheard of. The same team dominating the only 3 races, with Yamaha not being where they were. It's taken them a while. Bagnaia might just hold off Mir as well, but do you remember Doha in Qatar? Race to the line. We've already seen that in the Moto3 race as well. Between Pepo Aguirre as well going to the line. Pepo Aguirre and Dennis Foggia. They were side by side on the line. It seems to be a similar thing here. Mia's got to push out the last 2 corners, but Fabio Quartararo is going to come through. And I think also a well done to Marc Marquez, who will finish this race in 7th place. What an amazing effort that will be. Last corner of the call. Fabio Quartararo comes out of the last corner, goes to the line, and does the double in MotoGP in the race 2 and 3. And Francesco Bagnaia is second. Johan Mir third across the line. A fantastic race. And Marc Marquez, a round of applause for finishing a MotoGP race back. And look at this. Vinales going to try and get through Nakagami. And Nakagami gets 10th. Riding, damaged, injured. Nakagami finishes 10th. Followed then by Vinales, Marini, Petrucci, Savadori. And then Lucanoa, followed by Oliveira. What a race. Megan, what did you think of that one?
I thought that was certainly dramatic since we lost 5 riders.
Quite a lot, yeah. So, that's it, I'm afraid. We're on a quick off here for the Formula 1. Fabio Quartararo wins from Francesco Bagnaia and Johan Mir. Join us in 2 weeks' time when MotoGP returns for the Grand Prix of Spain at Jerez. Thanks for your company. Cross over now to watch live coverage of Formula 1.